Africa is home to over 1.2 billion people and over 120,000 species of animal. Here are 30 facts about the continent of Africa. Most endangered species. The northern white rhino is the most endangered animal on the continent. Sadly, only 2 northern white rhinos remain in the world, living in Kenya's Ol Pejeta Conservancy. Most remote tribes in Africa. Omo Valley Tribes, Ethiopia. Located in southern Ethiopia, Omo Valley tribes are some of the world's last unchanged cultural groups. The area is full of cultures and communities that represent some of the greatest genetic variants on the continent. Huli Wigmen, Papua New Guinea. In Papua, New Guinea you will find Huli people. They live in the Tagari River Basin and on the slopes of the surrounding mountain ranges. Dogon, West Africa. The Dogon are an ethnic group indigenous to the Central Plateau region of Mali, in West Africa, south of the Niger Bend. They are best known for their religious traditions, their mask dances, wooden sculpture, and their architecture. The continent's oldest civilizations. Africa is home to some of the world's oldest civilizations, such as ancient Egypt, which dates back to 3100 BC. The pyramids of Giza are among the most iconic and enduring monuments of ancient human achievement. Biggest rainforest in Africa. The Congo Basin is the biggest forest in Africa and second only to the Amazon rainforest in size, with 300 million hectares compared to the 800 million hectares in the Amazon. Most famous ancient kingdoms. Ancient Egypt. One of the most notable ancient kingdoms in Africa was the ancient Egypt. It was established around 3150 BC and ended around 30 BC when it succeeded by Roman Egypt. Carthage Empire. Ancient Carthage was an ancient Semitic civilization based in North Africa that reached its height in the 4th century BC. Initially a settlement in present-day Tunisia, it later became a city-state and then an empire. The Mali Empire. The empire was founded by Sundiata Keita, 1214 to 1255 AD, and became renowned for the wealth of its rulers, especially Mansa Musa. The Kingdom of Kush. Much of Nubia came under Egyptian rule during the New Kingdom period, 1550 to 1070 BC. Following Egypt's disintegration amid the Late Bronze Age collapse, the Kushites re-established a kingdom in Napata, now modern Karima, Sudan. The Zulu Kingdom. During the 1810s, Shaka established a standing army that consolidated rival clans and built a large following which ruled a wide expanse of southern Africa. Home to the most valuable land animal. The black rhinoceros, found in eastern and southern Africa, is the continent's most valuable land animal. The animals are often targeted by poachers as its horn can fetch up to $100,000 per kilogram in the illegal wildlife market. The world's hottest continent. Africa is generally considered the hottest continent, with Ethiopia's Dalal Depression recording the highest ever measured temperature, 58 degrees Celsius or 136 degrees Fahrenheit. The disease only found in Africa. African trypanosomiasis, also known as sleeping sickness, is a disease caused by tsetse flies which are exclusively found in Africa. Largest country. The largest country in Africa is Algeria. Its area 2,381,741 square kilometers. Seychelles is the smallest country in Africa as it only covers 451 square kilometers. Longest river. Africa's longest river is River Nile, which is also the second longest in the world. Approximately 10% of the surface area of Africa is covered by this river, which is 6,695 kilometers, and its basin spans approximately 3,349,000 square kilometers. Africa's highest mountain. Mount Kilimanjaro is the highest mountain in Africa. As a dormant volcanic mountain, its highest peak is 5,895 meters or 19,341 feet above sea level. Largest waterfall. Victoria Falls is located on the border between Zambia and Zimbabwe and is continent's largest waterfall, with a width of 1,708 meters, 5,604 feet. Largest valley in Africa. As the longest valley in the world, the Great Rift Valley extends through the Red Sea and ends in Mozambique. Several deep, elongated lakes like Lake Tanganyika and Malawi exist on the floor of this rift valley. The largest lake in Africa. Lake Victoria is one of the African Great Lakes. With a surface area of approximately 59,947 square kilometers. Deepest lake in Africa. Lake Tanganyika is Africa's deepest lake with a mean depth of 570 m. It is the world's longest freshwater lake as it extends 676 kilometers and is shared among 4 countries: Tanzania, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, the DRC, Burundi, and Zambia. Countries that were never colonized. Ethiopia and Liberia. Ethiopia was officially recognized as an independent state in 1896, after decisively defeating invading Italian forces at the Battle of Adwa. Liberia was founded by the United States in 1821 as a place to send its free black residents. It was never colonized after gaining its full independence in 1847. Youngest African country. The Republic of South Sudan became the world's youngest nation and Africa's 54th country on July 9, 2011, when it separated from Sudan. First African country to gain independence. One of the first African colonies to gain independence was the Gold Coast, which became the independent country of Ghana in 1957. Most developed countries. According to the most recent Human Development Index ranking, Mauritius stands out as the most developed country in Africa with a Human Development Index of 0.802. It is closely followed by Seychelles at 0.785 and Algeria at 0.745. Egypt and Tunisia both stood at an HDI of 0.731. Al-Qarawiyyin University, in Tunisia is the oldest existing and still operational educational institute in Africa and in the world as a whole. It was started in 859 AD by Tunisian-born Fatima Al-Firi. Africa is a continent rich in language diversity. There are over 3,000 languages spoken in Africa and Swahili is the most spoken language. Located in Egypt and founded in 3273 BC, Girga is the oldest continuously inhabited city on the African continent. The richest man to ever live in Africa was Mansa Musa. Ruled over the Mali Empire in the 14th century, and his incredible access to gold made him arguably the richest human to have ever lived. Have you ever seen or heard of Kori bustard? This bird is the largest flying bird native to Africa. Amazingly, the biggest male Kori bustard has a length of up to 135 centimeters, weighs 18 kilograms, and has a wingspan of 275 centimeters. The first black African to win Miss World was Ogbani Darigo. In 2001, the beautiful Nigerian-born girl became the world best model. The first African female president is Johnson Sirleaf. She was the first elected female head of state in Liberia. The first black African to win Nobel Prize was Albert Lutuli in 1960. He was anti-apartheid activist, traditional leader, and politician. Oldest museum in Africa is the Aziko South African Museum. Located in Cape Town, the museum was founded in 1825. Kinshasa in DRC has over 16,315,534, awarding it the title of most congested city in Africa.